Yeah, sure. So let us start now. Work for the daily. Pratik, are you there? You able to
Yes,
listen?
Prabhuji, I am there.
Sure, Baba. So today's session is going to be very practical. Please be attentive for the session, and at the end we are going to summarize it also. Okay, let's start. मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नमः। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं। Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss the practicality of spirituality in this present age. So this is the topic for today. If possible, Pratik, if you can turn on your camera, it will be helpful. If you can do it, fine. So just quickly, if I go through everything, so summarizing everything, let's just start. So purpose, we started with that. Naturally, we all want to be happy. That's the purpose. And happiness is of two type, real and relative. We want to be really happy, always want to be happy, increasingly, and we want to share it with our loved ones. So this is what we want, but in this world, this is not something which we get. That we have discussed already. Then we came to the concept: who am I? Are we missing something? Is there some other aspect of reality? कुछ ऐसा भी है जो हमसे छूट रहा है शायद, मे बी उसी के कारण सारे प्रॉब्लम्स आ रहे हैं. So we have discussed this very important subject matter, who am I, that I am not this body, I am soul. So that is what led us to this particular topic. Then after thoroughly going through the subject of our identity using reincarnation, near death body, near death experience, out of body experience, our own introspection, common sense, everything, we came to that conclusion, and also we discussed the advantages of it. Then we came to this: okay, if this soul is running this body, then who is running this whole cosmic body? And also, where does the, okay, I'm the soul, I'm the identity, but how I can access that permanent happiness? That is still not answered. What's that process, where that ultimate happiness comes from? So as per Bhagavad Gita, it says that by connecting with the Supreme Lord, one experiences that complete bliss, which is ever increasing, which really satisfies the soul. So then naturally, first of all, we need to come to this understanding that is there someone supreme? Is there someone up there who is, created everything, who is maintaining everything, ultimately who destroys everything? So yeah, then we discussed, does God exist? For two sessions, we have taken that particular topic. Then it led us to a very important point that we are discussing on Bhagavad Gita. All this information is there in the Bhagavad Gita. If we are accepting God, if we are accepting soul, then naturally we need to move forward with a process which connects the two. And that is given in Gita and other scriptures, like Vedic scriptures. So, what's the proof, or how I can have logical, substantial faith in these scriptures, knowing that they are not mythology or some stories written by some person who has nothing to do in this world, but they are facts, they are history of this world, and it is something which is very important for our life, and to live on the basis of those scriptures. So this was the, I would say, sixth session, I think, the manual, and then we discussed the karma and the ultimate solution of all the problems of our life. So same manual, it speaks very clearly. So we want to be really happy. So we are also dealing with real problems of life. Although there are other temporary problems which come and go again and again, but there are real problems which everyone has to deal with. That we have discussed thoroughly in the last session, followed by the topic of karma. That how we are also bound with these laws of karma. Our every action is accountable, and thus we need to be very, very responsible to act in this world. And if we do it nicely, perfectly, as per the guidance of Krishna given in Bhagavad Gita, if we perfect the process, then we can also just come out of this repeated cycle of birth and death, and can ultimately go to a place where we are all willing to go. What is that place? What I am talking about? Let us discuss in today's session. So this is what we discussed. Who am I? I'm not this body. I'm a spirit soul. Where do I come from? A spirit soul originally was with God, and it comes from a spiritual world to this world just to have some desires to be independent from him, and then but we come to something which is known as miserable place. This world in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Many times it may seem why this dukkha thing is being emphasized so much. It's not being emphasized so much, but we need to face this reality and accept it one day. Because when we know this, then only we can move forward, and also our expectations will be real. Generally, everyone wants to be happy, and we expect things to go our way. We expect success to come as per our desire. You know, what do you think, Pratik? Am I right? When you are giving advance or when you are giving mock test, you are expecting certain score. Yes, certain performance.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And if doesn't come, then you naturally feel disappointed.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, you feel disappointed.
Yes.
So the point is that in this world, very less often it happens that our desires are being fulfilled. Even if they are fulfilled, we find out that I was not expecting this. Like, just to give an example, although it is one of the extreme examples, but just it is coming in my mind. Recently, 1 or 2 years ago, the NEET topper, the first rank holder of NEET exam, which is also one of the toughest exam if you talk about competitive exams. She, in her MBBS, was not being able to do good, and she was having some other issues. Finally, she ended her life. Do you know that?
No, I have listened from you only. I have not listened earlier this thing.
Yeah, so this is what is the reality. People have achieved the success in the field which they were looking for, but at the end of the day, after doing everything, they say, "Oh, it's still something is missing." Why? Because this world is designed like that, and there are miseries and certain things which will never go away. And ultimately, Krishna says, why it becomes so miserable? Because it is temporary, ashashvatam. Anything which is temporary, how it can satisfy us? That's the problem with this world. Everything in this world is temporary. Everything means everything. You talk about anything, it will not last forever. One day it has to end, except the soul and some spiritual subject matter. So why I'm here now? Just I chose to be independent of God. Therefore, the God created it this place where we are currently. And then why do I get different bodies? We have already discussed in the last session. Our desires create and actions give me reactions, and different kinds of reactions give rise to different kinds of 84 lakh species, which a soul has to go through, and which is not a very good experience. For how long will this go on? This cycle, for how long will this go on? Because now we are in human form, we are fortunate enough to understand the subject matter. But soon again, if we are many of the people in this world who are not interested, who are not utilizing this human form. Okay, Shiva, I would like to welcome you. Thank you for joining. So those people who are not, yes, Shiva. Thank you, Shiva.
Yes, yes.
Are you
Can you
good?
repeat it? Yeah. Hello.
Okay. So we are continuing with the last session. We
Yes,
have
yes.
just started, so you have not missed. Okay. So many of the schools who are not utilizing this opportunity, what will happen to them? Because the reality is that we are not human bodies, human beings on a spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings on a human journey. Also, we see logically, everything in this world is in loop. Everything is in loop. Every day you see when the sun sets, moon comes into the sky, then again next morning the sun rises. So every day is in loop. Then every week repeats itself. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then every month repeats itself. Every year repeats itself. You know. So in this way, the time is repeating. Our scripture says this. They go further because it's a higher wisdom, it's a manual. So they know there are four ages: Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. And the ages, they are also in a cycle. Currently, we are in Kali Yuga. Kali means the age of machine, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Its symptoms are also mentioned. When this age, it lasts for 4,36,000 years. We have just currently passed 5,000 years. So a lot more is remaining in this age. At the end of this age, again Satyuga will start. But this cycle also, like there's a higher time cycle. So as I mentioned already, we'll study the time cycle, but it's not so easy to cover everything in such a short course. If you're interested, as you are, so we'll continue in upcoming sessions after this course. Also, I'll introduce what we are going to get again. So anyway, the question is, why I shared all of this. Everything is a loop in this world. So how our life can be just a straight line, starting at one particular point and ending at another? No. Naturally, even logically, we say this has to also be in a circle, in a loop. So yeah, so for how long will this go on? So millions of lives we have lived before coming to this particular form, and millions of good and bad things we have done, and thus millions of reactions are in store for us. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. So we have lots of reactions which are still need to be faced. And for that, we need to take many, many millions of birth again. Now one can naturally say, what should I do, sir? You know, naturally, if we think about it, the response would be, is there any escape gate? Is there any way out of this loop so that we can save ourselves? Yes, it is. And this human form is this gate if it is utilized properly. Gate is there. We need to just open it. Human body is like a gate. If one understands the spiritual subject matter, he can open it and go out. So, a very important point which we have discussed, in the last session also, luxuries and comforts offered by science and technology cannot satisfy the soul as much as a fish taken out of water cannot be satisfied by any kind of facilities for enjoyment. मछली जल की रानी है, जीवन उसका पानी है. If you take out a fish and give all facilities, nothing will satisfy it. Okay, and this life is also very, very uncertain. Just recently, I've heard few cases, although it comes again and again to give us the reality check. But just today, I was talking to one devotee and the auntie ji. Yesterday, she was just perfectly healthy. In the afternoon, she got brain hemorrhage and somehow हो गया उनके brain में. Within just 4 hours, she just took her to the hospital and within 4 hours, she left her body. And recently, some other cases also came like that. So the whole point is life is very uncertain. Even if we try to get some satisfaction through working categories, we don't know how long it will last here. Now then initially the question will be, how can I go back to Godhead? The spiritual world, which we have also touched the subject in the last session. Now you tell me, what is the first thing required to go anywhere? कहीं पे भी जाने के लिए सबसे पहली चीज क्या चाहिए? प्रतीक. Yes, Pratik.
Sir, address.
Very logical and very close. Yes, we need address of that particular place where we want to go.
Then
But
vehicle and path, like
Vehicle and path, yes, perfect. But there's one thing missing. Before vehicle and path, we need one more thing. Even for the address also, and to get the address, to go there, उसके लिए भी पहले एक चीज चाहिए. शिवा, can you think of it?
I don't know, but I thought like we need to first think of it. We need to go somewhere.
What do you call that? Like if you want to go to Mumbai, the first thing which we need to go to Mumbai is the desire.
Yeah, thought.
Yes,
Design.
the desire. Obviously, कुछ भी करने के लिए, like to crack JEE and to come to IIT, what you need? First thing is desire. Coaching, classes, books, mentors, they are secondary. People have all these facilities, but still they are not able to come because majority does not have desire, and those who have, they don't have intense desire, therefore they don't utilize the facilities. So first and foremost thing which we need for any journey is desire. Without desire, we will not even move from here to go to a shop to purchase something. When we are in need of something, when we have desire something, let's say we are hungry and we want to eat something, then we take this inconvenience to get up from the chair, to take some money to go to the shop to purchase something and eat it. Now the question is, how does the desire come? Desire कैसे आता है? कुछ भी करने का या कहीं भी जाने का. Yes, Pratik?
लाइक हम सोसाइटी में सुनते हैं कि और चीज़ों को लोग ग्लोरीफाई करते हैं कि ये करने से ये मिलेगा, और उससे उसकी वजह से हमारा एक परसेप्शन बनता है, उसकी वजह से एक डिज़ायर क्रिएट होती है, ऐसा कुछ.
Perfect explanation actually. Dhanavad for yourself. So when we hear from people or from somewhere, from anywhere, that okay, this place or this thing, if you get in your life, you'll get so and so benefits. And then those benefits attract us, and if you like, yes, I want to do it. I want to have it in my life. So desire comes by hearing from people or books or anywhere, from any source. So this is how Bhagavad Gita puts a full stop to all our sufferings. As we have already discussed, it's a manual, it's a guide map in our lives. It gives us the reality of this world with very clear cut description of what we are going to, what we are dealing with, how to deal with everything, the problems of life in this world, but knowing that I am not of this world. Ultimate destination. What that ultimate destination looks like. And in Bhagavad Gita 15.6, Krishna gives this solution. So Gita does not try to solve our teeny tiny problems of our life. Try to understand, it's a very important point. Why Gita is so much glorified? It's not like मेरा गर्लफ्रेंड चला गया अभी गीता में सोल्यूशन मिलेगा क्या? मिल जाएगा, but it's not about the girlfriend चला गया तो गीता के पास जा. Although Gita is so powerful, definitely I can give you from Gita that okay, you do this, you'll be satisfied. And this is what Krishna says. Don't worry. So we give that counseling. But Krishna, being the source of all knowledge, if you go to the best doctor in the whole world, and you say, I have this disease, that disease, these so many diseases, if he is a really good doctor, he really medical science and the body, how it functions, he'll not just be giving medicine for each and every disease you have. He will just find why all these symptoms, why all these different diseases are coming from. He'll find the root cause. And after listening to your explanation, he'll know, okay, this is the problem maybe. And he'll just give one medicine to cure that particular problem and finish. All your problems, all your diseases are over, you're rid of it. That is what Krishna says. Okay, so there are problems in life, take some solutions, but ultimately know yourself that this world is meant to give us problems, and therefore do not be here for so long. And thus in 15.6, he gives the explanation of the spiritual world. Interestingly, in the another batch, senior batch, we are just about to discuss this particular verse only. So he says, Na tadbhasyate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Translation. That supreme abode of mind is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. This is the description of the spiritual world in one shloka, although there are elaborate descriptions also in Bhagavatam and other scriptures, also in Gita. But the main part which Krishna is highlighting here, try to understand that supreme abode does not require any outsource illumination. Why? Try to understand it. In this world, we need light from outside. If I just turn off the lights of this room, you'll not be able to see me clearly. Yes, there is a sun which is illuminating the whole universe. And if sun is not there, if moon is not there, if it's a dark night of Amavasya, one cannot see anything. So this world is known as Kuntha in Sanskrit and also full of darkness. What does darkness represent? Darkness represents negative emotions. Darkness represents ignorance. Darkness represents fear. Yes, light represents joy, positivity, knowledge, wisdom. In this world, we need light from outside. We depend on other sources for illumination. And thus, if that source is not available, if someone cuts the electricity or the person sitting in that headquarter, he just turns off the switch, we cannot conduct this session, my dear friends. Somehow, my laptop is working on charge and, this has to be stopped here because why we are depending on other sources. But the spiritual world, every entity is independent and they are not dependent on any external sources for happiness. Everyone is blissful in their heart. They are full of joy, full of knowledge, and without any fear. So that is the spiritual world. And one another interesting thing about it is those who reach it never return to this material world. Amazingly, in this world, everything we need to do again. I asked the students recently in the last batch, their exams were just over. One more college students were there in the session. So I asked them, so your exams are over? So some of them said yes, but some of the intelligent ones, they were saying, no, sir, it is just a break we have got in between two exams. Next semester again we need to give exams. Next semester again we need to give exams. Okay, so after semester end, no exams. No, then life will take exams. And those exams are very interesting because you don't have the syllabus. You don't know when the exam is going to be taken. And most of the time people are not at all aware about how to answer those questions when life really hits them hard. And that is going on again and as we have discussed, everything here is in cycle. So, but then Krishna says, if you go there into that spiritual reality, which is beyond this material world, then you need not to come here again to again start from nursery KG1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, JE, and then again 9, this, that, all of that stuff. And a lot more comes with it. So this is the beautiful spiritual world. Okay? So यहाँ से हम आए. The bodies of beauty of queens will be men go crazy. We really, are like lusting, become lusty of them. Generally speaking, the whole society we see in some years only, the beauty goes away. It's a liquid beauty. It's not the spiritual beauty, but the spirit souls belong to the spiritual world, and a spiritual body is permanent, full of knowledge and bliss producing. Their beauty does not fade away with time. On the other hand, today only I was reading Chaitanya Chaitamrita. It's kind of a PhD of spiritual study. So in that book, it's clearly mentioned that in the spiritual world, everything increases with time. And the beauty of the Lord and the beauty of the residents of the spiritual world, that also increases with time, although it is already infinite. For example, how in the 15th chapter again, this is Purushottam Mas, 15th chapter is known as Purushottam Yoga. There Krishna says, ऊर्ध्वमूलं मदाशाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. He says, this material world is compared to upside down banyan tree. This material world, interestingly, it is compared to upside down banyan tree. Where do you see in the world a tree which has roots upward and branches downwards? Have you seen it, Shiva? Any tree
No,
like this?
no, I haven't seen. No.
No? Actually, we have seen it, but somehow we have not noticed it. Uh, if you see the reflection of the tree in the water, if there is a tree and there is a lake of there is a lake of water, then you can see the reflection, and the reflection will be upside down tree. Its roots will be upward and branches down. So what Krishna is trying to say is that this world is the reflection of the original tree. So we are living in a reflectory world. The reality is somewhere else, which is being just reflected on this water of desire. So blissful spiritual world, how does it look like? So there it is mentioned in scriptures that every word is a song. That people don't talk, they just sing because they are so much in joy. They walk, they don't walk, they dance. Water is like nectar, All living beings are pure. The deer and the lion, both of them come together and they drink water from the same lake and they love each other. They see each other with tears of joy, tears of love in their heart. That you are such a nice devotee, Lord. And the other thinks that no, I'm not a devotee. You are such a nice devotee of the Lord. And like that, every entity, without any enviousness, without any competition, without any selfish desires in their heart, they live there just to serve and to make other person happy and ultimately keeping the Lord in the center. So this is how it happens, and there is ultimately no old age, no disease or death in that world. You know that is Sukhale. This is Dukkhale, that is Sukhale. So that is a real eternal home where we can get unlimited and unending happiness. And thus, Krishna very specifically, even at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he emphasizes that. Manmana Bhammad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskaru Mame Pit Manmana Bhammad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskaru Ma Viveshi Satyatam Satyam Pratijani Priyasino Sarvaman Parityaje Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishami Mashita. Say, just come to me. I'll take you to my abode. Do not fear. And after going there, you need not to come back again. So this is the thing. So the goal is to go back there, return home, back home, back to God. This is just one part. Now the next part. All of this description was there for that one thing to come in our heart, the desire to take this journey. So as we have discussed about the first thing required to go anywhere, desire. So how does the desire come? The desire comes when you hear the description about that place. So we have heard, okay, this is how the spiritual world is. So Pratik, what do you feel? Do you feel going there?
Yes.
Yes. Do you like that description?
Yes.
And Shiva, what about you?
Yeah, the description is good, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that is there, brother. For in the beginning, it seems a little difficult to have complete faith, but yeah, with time, when you hear more, when you more logical discourses and more think about Gita and all, then the faith arises in the heart, real faith. So that's good, that you are in a good platform. So the thing is, so two ways. If I need to change my room, there has to be two things. One, there are few things in this room which I don't like, which are bothering me. Let's say some mosquitoes are there and they're biting me. I'm not feeling comfortable. And in that room, I know that there are no mosquitoes. On top of that, there are things which are not available in that room, in this room, which I really would like to have, would love to have. So these are the two things which really give someone desire to leave a particular place and to go to some other place. Now, his desire alone is sufficient. I think if you have desire, Is alone desire is sufficient for uh, completing a journey and to reaching to that place?
No, then work is also required, and desirable is to show us path how we are supposed to work.
Yes.
Like
So what is
when we will
there is
search
a
about the path, then we have to work also.
perfect. After hearing all the benefits of cracking JEE and coming to IIT, and hearing all the advantages of being an IITian and the life after passing from IIT, one can really have a deep desire to come and to come to IIT. But this alone is not sufficient for him to get a seat here. He has to work hard for at least 2 years or 1 year at least. You know, he needs to give his best, level best, and to qualify that particular criteria to enter into IIT. So similarly, desire alone is not sufficient to enter into the spiritual world. If we have logically understood all the stuff which we have discussed in this course, now what we are going to discuss is going to make sense and will be then we'll be able to apply some of these things in our life. So yoga, this word we must have heard many many times. Yoga comes from a Sanskrit dhatu word which is yujya. Yujya means to connect or to join. Generally yoga सुनते हैं हमें दिमाग में आता है physical body exercises and to keep the body in good health, and this is the purpose of yoga, and this is how the yoga has become popular nowadays in the Western world and also in India. People consider yoga means just some breathing exercise, anulom vilom, some asanas, that's all. But that's not the purpose of yoga. That is there Ashtanga yoga, but asana is just the second stage of that. There are 6 more stages above that. And the ultimate goal of Ashtanga yoga also is to be in samadhi, in trance, always meditating on the Supreme Lord, and to leave the body in that trance so that one can enter into the spiritual world. Everything is very clearly mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So, the process of yoga, the purpose of yoga is to connect to the Supreme Lord. Now, what are the different processes to connect to the Supreme Lord? So, there is Karma Yoga, there is Jnana Yoga, there is Dhyana Yoga, and there is Bhakti Yoga. In Karma Yoga, a person connects his senses to the Lord. Yes, because he works hard, he does all of these things, all of the stuff which he wants to do in his life, and at the end of the day, he gives the results to the Lord. He offers the fruits of his activities in terms of salary or in terms of whatever the profit he is gaining or by building temples, so on and so forth. So this is Karma Yoga. Jnana Yoga means connecting the intelligence to the Lord, means one goes to the deep scriptural study and he tries to understand the Supreme Lord by that study. So that is like connecting the intelligence. Dhyana Yoga is meditating on the Supreme Lord. That is connecting the mind with the Supreme. And then Bhakti Yoga is connecting the soul. Ultimately, our real identity is that we are not the senses, we are neither this intelligence nor the mind. We are the soul, the entity which possesses all of these things in this world. So if a process can connect directly soul to the Lord, that process naturally becomes the most powerful process. I'm not saying it, that's a good. As we think of yoga, what comes in our mind, asanas and meditations, yes, all these images. So this person is doing yoga, and this person is also seeming to be doing the same. But the advantages will be different. So what happened once, एक बार एक व्यक्ति electronic shop पे गए, like Roma, and there are so many malls nowadays. So he went to one electronic shop and he asked the persons who are there to help to you to purchase the best product. He asked that person, okay, sir, so what's the price of this television? TV, I want to purchase this TV. So this man replied, sir, we don't sell televisions to fools. And he really felt insulted. How you can tell me fool? But he was a simple person. He did not argue. Like maybe I was not dressed very well. So next time he went, with suit, coat, tie, and everything. And this time he spoke in English. So he asked, okay, so what's the cost of this television? And this person who was trying to help, he again replied, sir, I told you we don't sell televisions to the fools. And then this person will leave. But this time I spoke in English. Why is he calling me fool? तो अभी इस बार ना भेष बदल के आया अपना and also with different language. He's using some another language, South Indian or something, I don't know. So he asked the same question. Uh, that what's the cost of this television in a different language? And that guy in the same language replied the same thing. We don't sell televisions to the fools, sir. And this time this man became crazy. He is like, forget about television. First you tell me, how do you recognize me? I came in a different gaon, I'm using a different language, you are repeating the same thing. I'm not a fool. Why you are calling me a fool? And then that fellow replied, because sir, this is not a television, it's a washing machine. So before purchasing anything, we need to know what we are going to purchase, what we are looking for. So first, going for the yoga for the modern age, spirituality for the modern age, we need to know what is not yoga. Yoga is not for the increased lifespan. Yoga is not for the mystic powers. Yoga is not an exercise for shapely body, for good health and sense gratification, increased lifespan, for mystic power, so on and so forth. Because the people in the world think that this is the purpose of yoga. They are the side effects of yoga process. What are the four kinds of yoga? This we have already discussed. Now, who can say which version of Microsoft or Windows is the best? Prateek, tell me quickly.
What?
Who can say that which version of Microsoft is the best, or the features of that particular version is the best? Tell me.
What to say?
Huh? What to say? Difficult to say, no? Experts, maybe experts can tell. Shiva, would you like to guess?
No.
I don't know, but I want to go with the current version that I'm using. I don't even remember which version it is, but the current version of Microsoft Windows that I'm using will be the best version because it came after many upgradations. That's what I think.
Yes, that is true. The version which you are using. But really, if we are willing to know, because we don't know all the versions. Sometimes it happens like really recently it happened. One of the latest version of Windows was not working very properly. It was having so many bugs and problems, and people were recommending to not upgrade now and to wait for that version to be corrected and to work nicely, and then we can update to that one. So the point is, really, who can tell? Even who has created it. Even who has created. If let's say if you go to the cars thing, car showroom, there's so many cars. Ultimately, the purpose of the car is to drive you from one place to another. But if you ask which car is the best, I want the best one, most fastest and having all the comforts and luxury, then you need to ask the one who has created all of it, the manufacturer, the owner of the showroom. So the author of Windows, Bill Gates, he can tell. अभी तो नहीं है, मतलब it's the outdated thing, but he has retired. But the principle is same. Yes. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he has given all the process of yoga. Gita is the guidebook which tells us about Karma Yoga, then Dhyan Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga, then Jnana Yoga. All the yoga processes are there in Bhagavad Gita. And then Krishna himself says which yoga is the topmost. In this, at the end of the sixth chapter, 6.47 is the last verse of the sixth chapter. He says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajite yomam same yukta tamomatah. And of all the yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Samay yukta tamo mataha. This is my opinion. That the one who always thinks of me and one with great faith always abides in me. Bhajate. Bhajate means it comes from the dhatu bhajan. That the one who always chants my holy name, who always remembers me. He says he is the highest of all. That is my opinion. I'm in a session. I'll talk to you later. So now the question comes: will all the path lead to the same goal? काफी बार लोग बोलते हैं, "जतो मत ततो पथ." You take any process, you do anything, you worship any god, you practice any process of yoga. Ultimately, you need to go there only. They give also example of this: all the rivers merging into the ocean. But here, this example does not fit at all. Because Krishna very specifically speaks in Bhagavad Gita, Yanti dev vrata devan pitran yanti pitravita bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajino abhimam. It's very specific. If one takes a particular path and if he worships a particular entity, he may be a ghost or demigods or his forefathers or myself. He'll go to that particular destination. So here the example which fits as per Bhagavad Gita is the example of trains. Will all trains lead to the same destination? No, sir. You need to first know which destination you want to go, get a ticket for that particular train, and then enter into that train, and that train will drop you to that particular destination. So other yogas, Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, they are like indirect process. Like the ultimate goal you can consider is on the top of the floor. So there is 10-story, 100-story building, and we need to reach the top. So there are two ways to reach. One way is indirect process, by stairs we can go. Another is you just enter in the lift, push a button. That's it. You'll reach there like within a few minutes at max if it is a 100-story building. But it's very convenient, very easy. You need not put much effort, just be in the lift. So this is how, Krishna mentioned that bhakti karma or akarma, which we have discussed, neutral activities in the last session, if you remember when we were discussing about karma, they are the activities by which one does not acquire any further reactions. Not just that, he also makes sure that the reactions of his past actions does not come into his life in a way that he needs to take birth again and you need to suffer again. So this is the solution which Krishna offers in Bhagavad Gita. Like we discussed now, in the army, if a person kills 100 soldiers of the enemy, and then he'll get a gold medal or medals which are there offered for the bravery of the soldiers or the commanders in the army. But if the same fellow comes to his home and he kills just one guy, just one neighbor, out of anger or out of something, he is going to be punished. All the position, power, posts, guns, and everything will be taken away. So similarly, if a living entity follows the laws of the God, follows the scriptural injunctions, and aligns himself as per the desire and will of the Lord, then he can truly relish the facilities of this world. He can be blissful in this life, and also the next life will be amazing. You see, the army people, they are given so many facilities, yes, and after retirement also their life is still full of comfort. So yes, this is the neutral activities. Acting for the interest of God by following His authority and not for personal sense gratification or enjoyment is called bhakti karma. How can we acquire love for Krishna? Because the purpose of everything which we are doing, this bhakti karma and everything, is to ultimately come to a stage when we develop love for the Lord. Because that's the whole process, not a soul. The soul is coming from the spiritual world, as we discussed. And the nature of the soul, the dharma of the soul, is to always serve and love someone. We all are hankering for pure love. There is nothing else in this world which can satisfy us more than that. Just imagine. If I request this to everyone. If things and achievements of this world have satisfaction, just close your eyes for a second and think about it. You have whole world with you. Everything in the world, every mall, every cineplex, every car, every property. You can do anything and everything. Whole world is yours. I'm speaking reality. Just think about it. Close your eyes. Think about it. You are the only proprietor of the whole world. Every single bit of this world belongs to you. The only thing is, the only problem is, you can say, there is not any single other living entity than you in the whole planet. You are alone. Enjoy everything. All the products in the bakery, all the movies and web series in the Netflix, all the content in the media, every luxury in every hotel and everything. Go to whichever place you want. Everything is automated. Machines are working there. AI is there controlling the whole world, and you are the master of all the AI machines. There is no another living entity in this world. Not even cats and dogs. Not pets. What is about human beings? Pratik, would you like to be in this world or such world, which is yours?
No.
Shiva, would you like to be?
No, no.
Once, let me tell you, during COVID, we had some emergency, and somehow during lockdown, severe lockdown, when nothing was working, we took an exception and we came out to street. I was with my father on a scooty. When I was seeing the streets completely vacant, no vehicle moving, no one in the street to see. The railway stations, the bus stands, which were like full of crowded places in the whole city, they were like completely vacant. I cannot tell you what was going on in my heart. That feeling, that vacancy in my heart, that loneliness. I was really telling my father, please drive fast and let me take me back home, where I can be with all of you. Just this, if you sometimes you imagine this, you'll be terrified, I would say. You'll be like, oh, I need to come out of this place. So this is the thing. We all are entities who are seeking love and who reciprocate with each other by these loving exchanges. But this love we are ultimately looking for the Supreme Lord, because He can only completely satisfy us, and that thirst which have in our heart. So why that will all be revealed in the upcoming sessions. So Michelangelo, you know, he gave a very beautiful comment. The sculpture is already there. I just need to remove the excess marble of my chisel. So he was one of the very famous sculptor in the world who used to create these sculptures. But this was his statement. He used to say, I am not creating it. I'm just removing the extra material. So this is how it is. Everything is there in our heart. We need to just reawaken and rekindle it by removing the unnecessary things which have covered that infinite love. So we did not to acquire, it has to be revived. Okay. So like magnet naturally attracts the iron files, but when there is a rust over the iron, then it cannot be attracted. So we need to just remove that rusting, and then the iron files will get attracted. What is the rusting? What is the rust which is there in our heart? It is lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, religion. That is what Krishna mentions. So can I practice Bhakti Yoga in my family life? My few questions quickly to address and how to do it. So can I practice Bhakti Yoga in my family life? For sure, Arjuna was a family boy, family man. He was having three wives, so many responsibilities. And originally Gita was spoken to Arjuna. So yes, while doing everything, we can practice spirituality. Shiva, Arjuna was not a sannyasi. Do we have the time? Those who say that we don't have time, truly speaking, my heart breaks. Shiva, I'm telling you, today morning I was traveling from Bhopal to Indore back here again, and I was trying to distribute Bhagavad Gita. One of the major response I get from the public is that we don't have time, and they don't even feel even little ashamed saying this while scrolling the reels. You know how much time we are wasting, and for what we don't have time. We don't have time for our own well-being, for understanding who we are, for you know if at all that bliss exists, which we have discussed, and the reality which we are discussing for last so many sessions, to really tap onto that reality, we don't have time. It's a, it's like big blunder. Like it will be like one is saying, I don't have time to eat. I'm so much busy in working. My dear friend, be happy because you are going to die very soon. So similarly, if one is not feeding the soul, which is like parrot inside a cage, what's the use of just polishing the cage? What one is going to get? So do we don't have time? Now we have time. We have sufficient time. We are wasting it a lot. We need to just utilize that time which we are wasting. No need to create a extra amount of time. Is spirituality a retirement program? Many people say, okay, I'll do it. Abhi, I just today only I met one person. He was definitely he was in his 50s or 60s. By seeing him, I can tell this. I asked him take this Gita, and he was telling me, "Abhi समय नहीं है. Well, this is not the time to read Gita. After few years, when I'm old, I'm going to read it." मतलब सर थोड़ा मिरर अच्छे से देखिए ट्रेन में you are already reached that stage. Nowadays, people don't live more than 60, 70. So, first of all, spirituality is a retirement program. It cannot be. Why? Because when you study, when we get into the schools, Shiva, at which age we get into the schools? Shiva, are you there?
Yes, yes.
So, at which age we started studies, Malay studies?
Like these books and everything, right? School kind of thing you are asking, material studies.
Like, at what age? When we were, how many year old we were when we started studying?
Yeah, around 3 years of age or
Yes,
5.
we were just 3 or 4 years old hardly, and we entered into the school. And like that, for the most important time of our life, the beginning, I would say at least 3 to 21, around 17, 18 years minimum, a person gives completely, solely for the studies. Why? Because at that time our brain is fresh, our brain is working at its best ability, best capacity. We can understand things, we can remember things, because then after certain age, there's so much in the brain, and we are already created so many conceptions of life, our own philosophies. We are not able to accept anything more. Yes, there's a problem. Spirituality cannot be a retirement program. Spirituality is a way more deep and complex subject matter than even rocket science. It's the science of the soul. It's the subtlest science in the nature. And to understand it, how one can understand when your brain is so dull, when you're full of anxieties, when your body is not working, giving you so much pain. So therefore, it's a program which has to be performed in the youth age, young age. Should spirituality be given importance? So this itself, the picture itself is saying, I just spoke it in the middle of the session also. No one knows when this is going to happen with us. Recently, I heard from my brother, he's here in Delhi working in Google. He told me that, in Delhi, there was one cafe, one hotel which caught fire and it just burned. And 21 people, they weren't alive there in the building. They were eating burger, discussing their life, making future plans. The reality of life is that, sorry, it may seem harsh, but they were not even given the opportunity to get this done. It was done already to done in that building. Their funeral fire was not there. they just burnt away completely. So this is how life is so temporary and anything can happen. So yeah, sooner is better. Convinced, what should I do now? Just quickly telling you what needs to be done. What should I do now? These are the six steps a person does uh, to treat himself and to get healthy again. First, accept that I am sick. We are in this body, we are in this material world, which does not belong to us. So it is some unnatural condition. What is sickness? What is disease? Some unnatural condition. It's not a healthy condition. So first we need to accept that I am sick, approach the right hospital, approach the right doctor, avoid certain things, and then apply the treatment. So let's do it one by one. First, accept that one is sick. What is the symptom of my sickness? Symptom of my disease or sickness are four problems and three miseries. This we have already discussed: birth, death, old age, and disease. No one wants it. Common to all. Everyone gets it. No one can avoid it. Three miseries are also there: Adi Atmika, Adi Bhautika, and Adi Devika. These are the symptoms of our sickness. We are not in a natural condition. We are not in a healthy condition. Then, okay, convince what to do. Approach the right hospital. We need to go to the right hospital. For the bodily disease, there are hospitals which treat it and make us cure. For the spiritual disease, there are spiritual hospitals which are known as temple. Temple को संस्कृत बोलते हैं मंदिर, a place where the mind becomes calm and then we are able to focus on our real essence, the reality of life. So how can, home can become a temple, a spiritual place if we just start, if we just adopt some spiritual practices, which I'm going to share in just few slides. So make Lord the center of your home or your room or your place, wherever you are, your work, your life. Yes. So then approaching the right hospital alone is not sufficient. You're in the hospital, but to cure, you need a doctor also. Yes. So we need to approach the right doctor also. The right doctor is the person who is expert in curing the disease. As intelligent person, an intelligent man, before getting his appointment to any doctor, he checks that ये पर्टिकुलर डॉक्टर जो है ये किन से डिग्री ली है, कौन से कॉलेज से पास होके आ रहे हैं, किन के अंडर इनका एक्सपीरियंस और ये कितना इनका रिजल्ट क्या है, कैसे लोगों को क्यूर किए, व्हाट इज द रिजल्ट ही हैज प्रोड्यूस्ड, यू नो. These are the few things which we need to check before giving our bodies to any doctor. First and foremost, his degree, his qualification. So that doctor must have practiced for years under another qualified doctor in an institute. Similar thing applies to the spiritual life. Any spiritual master, any you can say spiritual teacher must come in parampara. Parampara means a spiritual disciplic succession. गुरु शिष्य का एक परंपरा है जो कि ओरिजिनली कृष्ण से ही स्टार्ट होके आ रहा है. The spiritual teacher should come in one of the bona fide spiritual parampara. See, there are so many sadhus in the world, my dear friends, and you know India has become, I would say, India was being blasphemed or criticized for the same thing for which India is being known throughout the world. That is, that is the spirituality, the spiritual roots, the wisdom of India. Why? Because of few bogus so-called sadhus. Therefore, be very, very careful when you are moving ahead in this particular path. There are so many people who call themselves acharyas, gurus, and then time and time again we say their reality comes to the picture, to the media, and then people get shaken. So, therefore, intelligent person should avoid it in the beginning itself by checking where he is coming from. What are his teachers? Who are his teachers? What is his parampara? What is his qualification? What he speaks? Is he speaking the same thing which is there in the Bhagavad Gita? And what's the result he is producing? There is a big doctor having great degree and uh, does operation as per the books only. Only thing is whoever comes to him, he dies only. There is no successful operation only. Will anyone would like to go to such doctor? No, not at all. I am not going to go. Even for my little headache, I will not go to such doctor. Yes. So therefore, we need check. And then now avoid certain things and apply the treatment. avoid certain things here. By doing certain things, we lose the qualification to attain the spiritual knowledge. For example, meat eating, mercy is lost because every living entity belongs to the God. So this act does not please him, and therefore he will not reveal his knowledge. Second is gambling. By gambling, truthfulness is lost, and this is also one of the very important thing to move ahead in this path. Intoxication. By taking intoxicants, smoking cigarettes, taking liquor. Nowadays, it has become a cool thing to smoke is cool. Although being an IIT, being so literate, you can clearly read in the packet it is written, smoking kills. And you are smoking it and trying to become a cool. And I would say, brother, just ask yourself if you are cool or fool. You know, गलती से F की जगह C तो नहीं लगा रहे हैं क्योंकि any literate person will know that this is going to kill me, this is killing me. So intoxication से austerity is lost. तपस्या खत्म होता है. A person is not in his good state of mind, and then when you are not even in good state of mind, how you can hear and understand anything? And at last, illicit sex or having illicit relationships without proper commitments. Truly speaking, the commitment of marriage is required to have any relationship, and after marriage only a man and boy, sorry, a man and girl should come together, a boy and girl should come together and have a relationship properly committing to each other. Otherwise, cleanliness is lost, and then external and internal both. Internally, you will be looking after every girl as the object of my enjoyment, or for girl, every boy as the object of my enjoyment. And that is about internal cleanliness. And this act coming together, and engaging in this activity, sexual activity, is externally is also very much polluted. So therefore, one is not eligible to understand the spiritual subject matter when he's engaged in these things. So these things can be avoided, and last, apply the treatment. ये तो avoid कर दिया, but दवाई भी लेना जरूरी है. You know, when you get typhoid, doctor says don't eat hard food, but then he also gives the medicines. So what is the medicine? Very simple. Four things anyone can do in his world, in this world: working, studying, doing anything. He can do these four things. A for association, B for book reading, C for chanting, D for time. We all started our studies, बड़े studies by ABCD. A for apple, B for बड़ा apple, C for छोटा apple, D for दो apple. Yes. No, A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, I think. So this is special ABCD: A for association, B for book reading, C for chanting, D for diet. What it is? Association of like-minded, saintly people. There is only one secret to advance and to be successful in any field of your life. Warren Buffett, when he was being interviewed, he clearly said, the secret of my success is that I associated with those who were far more advanced in the field I wanted to be successful. If we want to become a saint, we need to associate with saintly minded people. So that is a choice we need to make. Okay? And America में एक बहुत beautiful saying है, tell me who your friends are, I can tell you who you are. I repeat, tell me who your friends are, I can tell you who you are. I have seen so many last few years. I've seen so many people who come with lots of interest in spiritual life, especially BTech first year when they come, or MTech first year when they come. But in due course of time, they are just off. They are just out of the scene. They don't respond. Why? The thing is the association. The friends, they try to drag them to another direction, and then they feel, okay, maybe I'm not going in the right path. So that is what discourages us. Okay. Next is B stands for book reading, scriptures. Start studying Gita or other books relevant to Bhagavad Gita. Don't go to any author, any book which which someone says, okay, this Gita you should read or this book you should read. Please refer to the persons who have knowledge, who have read the Shastras, and who know which book to read and which to not. Like we cannot go to the medical and just take any formula, any medicine by ourselves. Okay, देखिए इसका कलर अच्छा लग रहा है, इसका फॉर्मूला अच्छा लग रहा है, या इसका डिजाइन अच्छा लग रहा है. We take guidance from the physician, or the person who is there in the medical school. So book reading is very important. C stands for chanting. I've already introduced you Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Now it's time to practice it. Start it today. Today we are, really we behind time. बहुत आगे निकल गए हम 15 मिनट ज़्यादा हो गए. So I was willing to introduce chanting, but in the next session we'll be chanting. Next session is all about chanting. This process of chanting, we'll discuss it in detail through Shastra, through scientific research. We'll chant together for a few minutes. We'll experience what this chanting is. But please don't wait till then. Start it 108 times. Any time in the day. It will hardly take 7 to 8 minutes. If you don't have beats, don't worry. You can count on fingers, or you can download some apps. Counter apps are there. And you just put that chanting apps or japa apps. It will come on Google Play Store. You can download one and count there. So mantra is very simple, as we all know. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. The 16 syllable mantra is started today itself. At last, D stands for diet. As we have already seen, avoid meat eating, and then naturally it will come to the conclusion that we should eat a very healthy, full of nutrition, sattvic vegetarian diet, which will nourish your body, which will nourish your mind, and ultimately, if you can offer it to Lord before eating it, then it will become prasad, and then it will be very much pleasing to the soul also. Okay, so that's it from my side. Prabhupada is the personality. ISKCON is the society which he has created, to whom I am associated with, and this society throughout the world, which is making impact, which is going to be remarkable, which is there in the pages of the history. The world will be knowing for this moment. The Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, time and time again, he glorifies whenever he goes to any country, anywhere in the world, devotees come, they read the Bhagavad Gita, and when he meets anyone, any prime minister or president of any country, he gives them Bhagavad Gita as a gift. And he also says, there is no better gift with me to give you other than this book, and you also don't have a better gift to take from me than Bhagavad Gita. So he's a person who appreciates the contribution of this personality, Srila Prabhupada, and he's a man who has sacrificed his whole life just for one purpose, so that all of us today, in this present moment, can discuss Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any misinterpretation, can apply it in our lives, and can make our life perfect. Just in brief, what he did, who he was, and how this all happened. Very briefly, in few words, if I say, although there's a series of books on his life, there are hundreds of books. His biography is being studied in big business schools, because what he did is really unimaginable without any resources. So you can refer to it, and I'll also be sharing, his life little bit in more detail in upcoming sessions if we continue. So at the age of 70, he went to America alone, because his spiritual master, his guru, gave him instruction that you go to America, you go to Western countries, and preach this message of Bhagavad Gita in English language to the people of Western countries. Why? Because the whole world is following them, and if they can accept the wisdom of Gita, then the whole world can accept. With this goal in his mind, he tried a lot in India for 12 years. No one was listening. Everyone was like, it is the time of 1960s. He was trying his level best. No one was hearing. He was he was writing, editing, getting books printed, and also going home to home distributing them in India alone. No one was helping him. He was at the age of 60. Aside from Vrindavan, he used to live in Vrindavan. The place is still there, Radha Damodar temple, where his little 2 rooms you can visit. If someday you'll join us for a camp, we'll go there. So there he used to reside, there he used to write and do all of these things. But then he understood that in India, no one is helping me. He decided to go to America alone, with just 40 rupees in his hand, a trunk full of books which he has written and translated in English in India. That he took with him. Just two pair of clothes and one umbrella, nothing else. He went through a cargo ship, Jal Duta. You know, there's a ship. You know, behind his picture you can see Jal Duta. It was 2 month journey. Lots of hardships were there. He had two heart attacks consequently, one after another, one day after another. He got seasickness, tolerated everything, wrote beautiful prayers and songs in the ship, praying to Krishna that please, if you want your mission to be successful, let it be. You know, he wrote this beautiful song in Bengali, Nachao, Nachao, Prabhu, Nachao se baat hai. If you want to make me dance, my Lord. Make me dance, make me dance. Like that, he went to America. When he landed on the beach in London, he did not knew whether to go to left or right. There was no one to help him. 1 year was complete hardship, full of struggle. Long story in short, somehow few hippies. Hippies means those people, those youth of America who were following a counterculture. They were 24 hours taking drugs and intoxicants. They have rejected the normal life and were looking for a higher thing, higher purpose. But in drugs, they were thinking that by taking drugs they can go higher. So he showed immense love and compassion to these souls who were suffering in America by taking care of them, by giving prasadam to them, by time and time talking philosophy with them and doing kirtan with them. And somehow their heart were starting getting transformed. And then they accepted the lifestyle, the wisdom, the chanting, and everything which the Swami has introduced to them. And from there, this movement started in 1966. And today, in the present age, Krishna says purity is the force because this particular society gave to the things as it is without any interpretation. He himself, in 12 years, created 108 temples throughout the world, Radha Krishna temples, with millions of books being published and distributed throughout the world, gurukuls, spiritual universities, proper systematic institutes to study and to propagate this spiritual science to make it accessible for all of us. And then in the present moment, it has expanded 7 times what Prabhupada has left uh, with us, for all of us. So his disciples continued the moment he took it forward, and now it is there in every country, in every city. You know, you can find the devotees pushing the movement which is originally being started by Krishna himself, the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita and the chanting of the holy name. Okay, so that's all from my side. Apply the treatment, association, book reading, chanting and diet. ये बहुत अच्छा ऐड आता था घड़ी का, पहले इस्तेमाल करें फिर विश्वास करें. First you try to experience this, apply this, and when you feel some transformation coming in your life, continue. If it doesn't make any sense, if after some time philosophy does not make sense, or if the results are not coming out in your personality, leave it. There's no loss. What is the loss? You know. So I have experienced something, therefore I'm sitting here and speak this to you. If you experience something, you continue. If not, leave it there only. Okay. So this is my proposal to both of you. Thank you very much, Pratik and Shiva, for coming here. Hi Krishna. Any doubts, any questions for today? That is a big one. It took little extra time. Anything? Shiva, Raghav, or sorry, Pratik?
No.
No questions.
Yes, Shiva. Would you like to share anything?
No.
Okay, so now please hear these announcements attentively. Now our complete Bhagavad Gita course is over. Soon you will get a quiz based on all of this so that आप आपका knowledge एक बार test कर सकते हैं कि आप कितना समझे हैं, कितनी चीजें आपको याद हैं, एंड हाउ यू आर एबल टू डाइजेस्ट देम और नॉट. So that will be there. And from the next week, now we are not going to have alternate sessions. It's also difficult for me to give sessions every day because there's another batch is also going on. So we'll be having mostly 2 sessions a week. What do you suggest? 2 sessions are good, sufficient, or 1 session? Shiva, Pratik, Shiva, what do you say? 2 sessions per week or 1 session?
Yeah, I think this is completed after 8 sessions. No, it's not like that.
Sorry?
Is it going to carry? I thought like this is for 8 sessions, right? It is not like that.
Yeah, so actually this is a 8 session course. This is completed now. But there are so many concepts still which, if you are interested, they are remaining to be understood. Like we have not discussed the definitions of God, why there are so many religions if God is one, and then this chanting process, how it really works, what are the results one is going to receive, and all this stuff in detail about this process, and then the Supreme Lord, how he creates everything, time, how time works, how time is relative, how in different planetary systems different time is going on. So like so on and so forth. So there are many subject matters or many concepts of Gita which are still remaining to be answered, or you can say discussed. So if you are willing to continue, we can move forward with a Bhagavad Gita level 1 course. And then further, if level 1 is completed, if you are still comfortable and want to continue, we can go with level 2. So in this way, this association part, see, A for association is very important if you want to practice spiritual life. So you will be having some association online till the time the college reopens in July, and then in July, from July, we'll be having physical study. So this is the thing, this is the proposal from my side. But this is a personal choice, this is a personal decision if you're willing to continue from here. I would really like to stop here and want to explore something else or whatever. So that's your choice, Shiva. Okay. So next course we can have like 2 sessions a week or 1 session a week. That maybe I'll decide and we'll let you know. Is it fine, Pratik?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
Okay. So here's the thing. So I will let you know online and कब वो होंगे उनके days भी हम fix कर देंगे कि इस दिन होने वाले. So if you're interested, you can join. Okay. So let me stop it here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Sure. Thank you.